Thanks a lot.
Thanks for this participation. We are here with the Chalarca, and thanks for the participation to this project. And we are really happy to have you in. And thanks to stay here with this video podcast.
And yeah, in first instance, we would like to ask you, first of all, where do you work? So the people you work in, and the shops, and if you could present a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Jose Chalarca, and I work in New York City. I have a private studio downtown New York City, and I split my time in that studio and the amazing Hudson Valley Tattoo Company in Hudson Valley, New York.
Yes.
Can I ask when and where did you start approaching the tattoo world, and any particular memory from your apprenticeship or something from the very beginning?
Right. Oh man. I've been in love with tattooing. So my first memory that I have from tattooing is probably when I was 10, 11 years old. Was in the army in Colombia, right? And he had a tattoo. It was a hand tattoo on, but I thought it was amazing. Fascinated with it. I thought it was the best thing in the world, and I got super obsessed with it. And then I started collecting tattoo magazines and drawing tattoos on my friends at school and getting it because it was very frowned upon back then. And yeah, so that was my first recollection of my relationship with tattooing. And then after that, you know, when I was in high school, I messed around with Walkman and, you know, homemade tattoo machine, tattooing out of my backyard. So there's a lot of people running around, you know, the world with it when I was in high school. And then from there, you know, I kind of like separated myself from it, you know, because like I ended up joining the service, joining the Marines, and doing other stuff. But at some point during my service in the Marine Corps, I reconnected with tattooing. Started tattooing out of the barracks. You know, I got myself a kit out of from Spalding and Rogers. I got it from a magazine. Yeah, my friends in the barracks and getting in trouble for it too every time I got cut.
Nice. Could you say if there has been a particular person that maybe inspired you or made this happen in any way? Yeah.
Many people actually. I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of, you know, people that I consider my tattoo heroes, you know, during time in tattoo. I mean, I started in a tattooing in street shops, and at some point, you know, I ended up doing in this shop in the city called New York Adorned, and I got to tattoo with some of my tattoo heroes there with Barb Inham, you know, Silver, with Brad Stevens, and then from there, you know, I which is closed down, unfortunately, right now. But I got to touch Regino Gonzalez, which is amazing. I consider him to be one of the best tattooers in the world. So it's a big influence in everything that I've done.
Yeah, that's cool. Can you please talk about your style and how you develop it?
Yeah. I think I've never been so focused on having a style per se, right? but I mean, eventually you kind of like develop it anyways. But when I first started tattooing, I was more worried about doing solid tattoos and being a well-rounded tattooer, right? And just doing every tattoo that I could to the best, right? And then everything kind of like fell into place. And I feel like my tattoos, the way they look now, is a product of that, and a product of you know, the people and the surroundings and the shops that I work. And it's always evolving too. I think, you know, every time that I tattoo, I do a little something a little different, and everything is changing, and I'm learning every day. So,
Yes,
yeah.
and talking about that, maybe can you, if you have a preference, maybe I don't know if there's any particular subject that you really like, usually tattooing or sketching or something that you maybe have fun, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love tattooing animals. You know, it doesn't matter what type. You know, it's just animal and make it badass. Snakes, tigers, you know, whatever the case may be. Um, but I also enjoy doing like fine line black gray, you know, and making it my own, right? Like I enjoy doing maybe like West Coast style, but putting a little bit of devil's flavor in it, right? Bikers is amazing. I love doing bikers rolls and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I also have seen that you sometimes like to mix your characters with some cartoon stuff. It's really amazing, something that I love to do too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you. I don't know. I feel like, especially like if we grew up with the cartoon characters, right, and we love tattooing, we like connects it, and we get transported back to, you know, our childhood when we were watching the cartoon or whatever the case may be. But yeah, it's very fun, you know, and I don't know, a way of staying connected to, you know, my childhood a little bit, I guess, right?
Yeah, we too, but we are old now. Also, how important is for you, like painting and drawing every day?
Very important. Very, very important. I keep a sketchbook, and I try to draw on myself every day. You know, and I think that's, you know, that reflects on your tattooing, right? How much you draw, how much you paint, that reflects on the way that, right? I don't know. It's like that saying, you know, tattoo like you draw and draw your ass off, you know? It goes hand. You don't draw and paint every day, right? And you're gonna be one step behind from your peers. I think it's so important to do that.
And I mean, do you think that do you feel that in a way you are focused on any particular stuff that maybe make you evolving in this particular moment, or you're just I don't know, you just go on and check every time something different?
I love mixing traditional stuff, right? And it works, you know, the way that I draw it. I mean, it works for me, and my clients seem to like it. It's fun too, you know. So it's always fun, you know, marrying the two styles and coming up with new imagery, and I don't know. It's fun, and as it works, you know.
Totally.
Can you talk about the New York tattoo scene, and also can you comment about its eventual change in the last years?
Um, sure. Well, I haven't been tattooing for long. I've been tattooing for about 16 years, right? And when I started tattooing in New York City, right, it was pretty much towards the end of a lot of shops. You know, I was only in New York alone for like 2 or 3 years, so I missed a lot of the stuff that happened. You know, when guys Chris Garber, Chris O'Donnell used to work there, right? Um, but I feel that changed from when I started tattooing. I mean, when I started tattooing, social media was just starting to bloom, right? Instagram was just starting to happen, and but I mean, everything is so readily available, right? Like information fingers now. Right? I guess into tattooing, they hits the ground running because they have the information at the tip of their fingers. Um, I would say that it was a little more difficult back then. You know, the shops weren't as welcoming to open the doors to new tattooers as they are today. And also, you know, the equipment has like improved so much in the last 16 years. You could imagine someone that's been tattooing for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Yes, and indeed, talking about that, how is your relationship with the coil machines? I mean, can you explain what kind of machines do you prefer and why?
The feeling.
In the feeling with your tools.
I love coil machines. I don't use them as much anymore, right? Because sometimes it's very convenient to pack just one machine and travel with a bunch of. But you can't get the hit of a coil machine with a rotary. You can't. Doesn't matter what kind of rotary. You know, the feel is quality, especially if you're doing lines. You know, the quality of lines of a coil machine is different. It's exceptional. And but yeah, I love cutbacks for the geometry of the machine for lining because I like the speed of the machine. You know, I like it to run fast and keep up with the speed of my hand. But painting, I love machines with like a really long throw, right? Like a Sailor Jerry frame or something like that. That's really slow and punchy.
Crispy lines.
Yeah.
And is talking about more in general about the tattoo world. Is there something that especially makes you feel the magic of the tattooing in general? And I don't know, can you relate to something like that and eventually talk about that?
The magic of tattooing. Oh man, I see the magic of tattooing every time I work. Every time I'm around co-workers and they put out amazing work and their clients' face, you know, in front of the mirror, they're really in love with whatever. I think it's really rewarding, you know, having someone walk out of the shop with your work and really happy with what they got. Yeah, I think as long as you have that passion for it, right? And as there are enough tattooers with the same passion, you know, tattooing is never gonna end.
Yeah, I think also that, as you say, it's just all about passion, and that kind of sad thing is that nowadays we can see a lot of people just starting this job like a money maker, just for money. Yeah, sometimes, I don't want to say a lot of times, but I hope so. Yeah, and what do you think about everything that is new, about the new minded tattooers, not the new tattooers, because everything is cool, everything that is new is cool, but what do you think about the modern-minded tattooers?
Well, I think that a lot of people get into tattooing for the wrong reasons, right? A lot of people, they think that they're going to become a tattooer and it's just a big social party, you know, just drinking, partying, and it's just a lifestyle. You know, you get it. If you get it and you're going to be somewhat successful in what you're doing, you have to commit yourself and social life the window. You have to eat, breathe, hey, 24/7. And at the same time, you know, there's a lot of kids nowadays that they get into tattooing and they get obsessed and because the time change and most art background, they hit the ground running and they're facing from the get-go. And you're just, how the hell are you doing this? I've been tattooing for so long and my tattoos are like, you know.
Totally. And right now, do you have any particular plans for the future? I don't know, travels or whatever kind of tattoo relating.
I think that, I mean, after the pandemic, you know, people and I mean, a lot of things have changed for a lot of people, pandemic, including myself. I ended up moving from, you know, the city where I'm still in New York, but now I'm a little farther from the city. So I don't know, and I have more responsibilities financially, so it's a little harder to travel as I used to. But I, you know, make some time and hit more conventions, more guest spots, and you know, just meet more tattooers and keep growing as an artist.
Totally.
I really hope that we can meet in person sometime. Yeah, maybe in New York or in some convention because
The shop where I work at, the Hudson Valley Tattoo Company, they put together a tattoo convention. It's actually happening at the and it's called the Hudson Valley Tattoo Convention. So this is the second time happening. When I did it the first time, I wasn't working in the shop yet, but
amazing. Yeah, totally. So for everyone, go to the convention. And yeah, so I think that for now we are going to end this very nice talk with, at least with Instagram, so we can say bye on Zoom. And so thank you everyone that was connecting today, and see you in the next podcast. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay.